The Chicago Cubs take an exciting game one against the San Diego Padres off the backs of the bullpen and offensively off the backs of Seiya Suzuki and Carson Kelly. We also asked the question, should Kyle Tucker maybe sit out if he's not fully healthy? And last but not least, who is going to pitch in game two for the Chicago Cubs? I give you my take and more after this. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. I am your host, Mike Jones. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. And damn it, Chicago Cubs have once again put the city on their back. First playoff home win for any Chicago organization since the Chicago Sky won their WNBA championship 3 years ago. Bears, Bulls, Cubs, White Sox, Sky, nobody. Blackhawks, nobody. The Chicago Cubs did what they needed to do. That's right. They are putting the city of Chicago on their back, representing as we should. Because you know what we do in Chicago? We fight. We are the Second City Saints, and we fight. We fight it out. We go and we do the hard jobs. We do what we have to do. We're a grinded out type of city, and damn it, this was a grinded out type of game. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hyped. I am excited because the Chicago Cubs did what they needed to do, and it looked bleak. It looked bleak. Good. Let's go ahead and get into this game. The Chicago Cubs started off against Nick Pivetta. First 4 innings of this game, Chicago Cubs went scoreless. Nick Pivetta actually pitched a pretty good game. He allowed only three hits, 2 earned runs. He struck out 9 guys. Chicago Cubs could not figure him out. That was until the 5th inning when Seiya Suzuki came up and sent it out into left center field, tied the game up, and then right behind him, Carson Kelly comes behind him and hits it into left center field also. Same spot, both guys hitting the ball well for the Chicago Cubs, giving the Chicago Cubs the lead. Then on top of that, the Chicago Cubs come out there and they send out their bullpen. Now, I questioned this during the live. I thought it was crazy to send out Daniel Palencia once you pulled Matthew Boyd. To my surprise, Daniel Palencia came into the game after Matthew Boyd, who Boyd pitched 4 and 4 in the 3rd inning, allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, only 2 strikeouts on 58 pitches, 43 of those being strikes. Daniel Palencia came into the game after him, pitched 1 2/3 innings, did not give up a single hit, did not give up a single run, did not walk anybody, struck out 2 on 17 pitches, 13 of those being strikes. ERA 0.00. Drew Pomeranz came in after him and pitched another inning. Did not allow up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout on 11 pitches, 9 of those being strikes. Kittredge came in after him, pitched an inning, did not give up 1 hit, did not give up 1 earned run, did not give up one walk, struck out 1 on 14 pitches, 10 of those being strikes. His ERA 0.00. Brad Keller came in, shut the door, did not allow 1 hit, did not allow 1 earned run, did not allow 1 walk, struck 1 out on 13 pitches, 9 of those being strikes. 0.00 ERA for him also. Let me tell you guys something. The Chicago Cubs bullpen was the linchpin in this first win. They did what they had to do. Matthew Boyd did pitch a pretty good game. He got outs. He took care of business and got outs. He, however, just struggled to get strikeouts. He wasn't getting strikeouts, and they weren't hitting the ball on him. It was a couple times that the Padres had guys in scoring position, but Matthew Boyd either shut the door or they brought in Daniel Palencia and he shut the door. But one way or another, the Chicago Cubs shut the door. I mean, just being stingy, only allowing 1 run for the Padres, who boast a team that has Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Xander Bogaerts, Jackson Merrill, Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth held these guys. Manny Machado went 0 for 3. Fernando Tatis went 0 for 4. Luis Arias went 0 for 4 in this game. Ryan O'Hearn went 0 for 3 in this game. Gavin Sheets went 0 for 3. And Jake Cronenworth went 0 for 3 in this game. Just Chicago Cubs defense just being grimy, slimy, not allowing them to score a lot of runs. This is the type of baseball you want to play in postseason baseball. You, like I said, and of course with the wind blowing in, you knew it was going to be tough to hit home run balls in that park. So you ask yourself, you know what I'm saying? Okay, well, you know, if it's you got Matthew Boyd up, you know he's not going to give up the home run. He did give up. Is that the wind blowing out? Xander Bogaerts and Jackson Merrill both would have hit home runs because those doubles that they got that scored the one run definitely would have went out the park. But fortunately for us, the ball with at the time that they hit those doubles, the wind was blowing in, the ball stayed in the park. And like I said, the Chicago Cubs were able to take advantage of it. PCA, you got to chill. You got to chill, bro. I understand you trying to find your way. I love the article that you wrote, but you don't have to do too much. Just go out there and play ball. Don't overthink it. Don't overdo it. Just a throwing error. The only error of the game came from PCA that allows Xander Bogaerts to go to third base. That could have been a costly run. Fortunately enough, we got some gamers on our team and some really good pitchers that pick each other up when another teammate makes a mistake. And luckily enough for PCA, he didn't have to worry about that. But like I said, this Chicago Cubs team looks strong. They looked very good in this game. This was a better outcome that I could have imagined. Like I said, the Chicago Cubs played a very good brand of baseball. Both teams pitched very well. The Chicago Cubs just caught Nick Pivetta, like I said they needed to. I was actually shocked that they sent him out for the fifth inning. I thought they were going to pull him in after the fourth inning, but no, they sent him back. Mike Schultz sent him back out in the fifth, and he gave up the back-to-back jacks. And like I said, it was over with from that. Nico Horner also did drive in a run drove in Dansby Swanson to make it 3-1. And that was the end, the bit of scoring. Listen, this is postseason. This is how it goes. Not every postseason game, you're going to be able to score 6, 7, 8, 9 runs. You're going to see a lot of different pitchers. I'm very, 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 very impressed with how Craig Counsell managed this game. I'm very, very impressed with how him and Tommy Hotovy managed the bullpen. I'm very, very impressed with what these guys were able to do and how they were able to maneuver their way around in this series. So one more. Let's see if they can take it on Wednesday. Let's see if the Chicago Cubs can take the series on Wednesday and then begin preparing for the Milwaukee Brewers because as they would see them next. So yeah, I mean, but we have some things we got to talk about also. Let's talk about it right after these messages. I have been talking ad nauseum, and I still will continue to talk about the product, the brand that has changed my life and can change yours too. What's that product? It's Dubby. It's an all-natural energy supplement that you can take on the daily to help you get through those urges, those moments when you want to nap, then when you hit the cliff, or if you had a long night the night before and need to get through another crazy day of the hustle and bustle, the 9 to 5, whatever you got going on. Dubby is your energy drink. That's right. Not to mention, when you buy a container of Dubby, it actually equals out to almost $1 per drink. You can mix it in with whatever you want, whether that be a juice, whether that be a water, whether that be some type of other energy flavored drink, whatever you want, you can mix Dubby with it and it will do the trick for you. Guys, I don't understand what you're waiting on. Dubby takes care of everything for you. All you have to do is go on to the Dubby website and place your order. And at this time, when you do that, all you have to do is put in Cubs Central Pod 2024. That's right, Cubs Central Pod 2024. And you get 10% off on your Dubby order. That's right. Hey, listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, Jitterless Energy. They have all different types of different flavors for you. Dubby has what you need. Be better with Dubby. The Chicago Cubs did pick up the victory against the San Diego Padres, but it was not all sunshine and rainbows. Kyle Tucker labored in this game, folks. And it led to questions during the live chat, the watch along with a lot of the fans that tuned in with me to watch it. They were questioning and asking, should the Chicago Cubs consider sitting Kyle Tucker because he isn't healthy, or at least splitting some of those ABs with a young talent that could potentially hit. That talent more than likely being Moises Ballesteros. And I talked to the guys that were watching with me, and I told them it probably should happen, but it probably won't happen. I don't think Craig Counsell has the balls to sit Kyle Tucker in the postseason. I mean, I very much know the Cubs do want to re-sign Kyle Tucker. I know the Dodgers are probably planning an amazing offer for him, but at the same time, I know the Chicago Cubs also do want to re-sign Kyle Tucker. And again, there'll probably be some other teams that'll be out there that'll try to talk to Kyle Tucker too and get him re-signed. Kyle Tucker isn't healthy. You can tell by his swings and by his ABs, he's not healthy. He's still laboring out there, but in a contract year where you're trying to make your money, or at least make some money and make some type of impact, you got to take the field. And I completely understand that from his standpoint. However, if it comes to a point that it's beginning to hurt the Chicago Cubs, you might need to look at potentially sitting Kyle Tucker. And I know that's not going to be popular, or it might be popular. There's a lot of people that think the Chicago Cubs don't need Kyle Tucker. That they honestly just need to get somebody else. I mean, I would like to remind you guys about the beginning of the season when the Cubs were red hot. Kyle Tucker was a big reason why they were red hot, and I just think he hasn't been healthy. But I just you run the risk of not being able to re-sign Kyle Tucker sitting him. That's a heavy risk. That's a heavy risk you play there. I mean, for a chance at glory and a chance to win it all, I mean, like I said, superstars have egos. Kyle Tucker is a superstar in this league. Make no mistake about it. There are going to be a lot of teams offering him a lot of money this offseason to come play for them. And with no salary cap, the Dodgers are at the top of that list. However, like I said, the Chicago Cubs, they also want to re-sign Kyle Tucker. So it's imperative that the Chicago Cubs do all that they can to make this superstar happy, but not at the risk of ruining what they might potentially have going for themselves if they can do what they need to do in the postseason. So that's my thoughts on that. Lastly, but not leastly, we have to talk about who should start in game 2. Now, I was unaware at the split, but until I looked at the splits for the San Diego Padres. They don't hit lefties well. With the wind blowing in potentially, hopefully on Wednesday, it could potentially set up a very good game for Shota Imanaga. And I know I've said in the past, even as late as last episode, that I would not pitch Shota in this series against a heavy home run hitting team like the Padres. However, if the wind is blowing in at Wrigley, it's already a tough place to hit. But if the wind is blowing in at Wrigley, it's really a tough place to hit. And if, if you could put him on a short leash, like he gives up one run, he's out. He's done. I mean, like I said, then, and you might even look to be creative and have a starting pitcher or have a starter for Shota. And then put Shota in. Maybe start a lefty in place of Shota to start the game, and then have Shota come in and pitch the rest of and pitch a good portion of the game. I wouldn't hate that either. Whatever the case may be, whatever it takes for Shota to get the outs, whatever it takes for the team to get the outs. Craig Counsell got very, very creative with 27 outs in this game, and I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it at all. He trusted Matthew Boyd, and Matthew Boyd did his part. I mean, he did give up 2 doubles that equal 1 run, but that was the only run given up throughout the whole game. So, like I said, I didn't hate it. I don't hate it. I would love to see what he has in store and how we can get these outs in the postseason. But Yeah, man, that's my time for today, man. Like I said, join me tomorrow. We're right back at it. Fly that W, baby. Join me tomorrow. We are right back at it. The Chicago Cubs versus the San Diego Padres, 2:00. We are watching along on YouTube, on Spotify. I don't know, on Spotify, on YouTube, on X, on any of those channels, networks. Join me. Join in on the fun. We'll also be on Playback TV also. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts below. And also, you can leave me a voicemail at 217-816-5498 or write me at CubsBaseball1992 at gmail.com. Until next time, go Cubs, go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.